The first African Americans into the English colonies came to Point Comfort, Virginia in 1619. They were slaves. They'd been captured against their will. But they landed in colonies that didn't have slavery. There were no laws about slavery in the colonies at that time. The United States didn't inherit slavery from anybody. We created it. It got created by the Virginia General Assembly and the legislatures of other states. It got created by the court systems in colonial America in sense that enforced fugitive slave laws. We created it. And we created.
Can you believe this bozo? Saying that the United States of America, actually before the United States of America existed, the colonies of England created slavery, invented slavery. Can you believe this bozo? First off, slavery existed in Africa itself, African countries against other African countries. It existed in Arab nations. It was heavily adopted by Europe. Through Spain, it came to South America over 100 years before 1619. Have you ever heard anybody say that South America created slavery, that South America invented slavery? Over 100 years before 1619, South America had African slavery. Through England, were English colonies. This guy says we didn't have laws. We were under the laws of England. Does this guy understand what the Declaration of Independence was? What independence meant? Independence from England, from being ruled by England, by being under English law. This bozo, this complete loser, spreading this ignorance that this country, the English colonies, created slavery. And the United States of America did not begin in 1619 anyway. It began in 1776, Declaration of Independence, that talks about all people are created equal with certain inalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Doesn't say just white people. Now, at the time, that's what it meant, white men who owned land, but they didn't say that. The Constitution begins with we the people, not just we the white people or we the white men or we the white men that own land. We the people. First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom of peaceful assembly. Doesn't say anything about color. Now the Founding Fathers, they certainly didn't create slavery. They were born into the culture of slavery, and there was already a divide between the North and the South already happening, and that would explode in the Civil War. But the Founding Fathers, who did they go to war against? They didn't go to war against Africa. They went to war against England. They went to war with people just as white as they were and people just as well armed, if not more so than we were. It took 8 years to defeat England. It took 8 years, and it was only possible with the help of the French. That's when the English colonies under English law became the United States of America. Does this guy know anything? Let's see what else this guy has to say.
Created it and maintained it over centuries. And in my lifetime, we have finally stopped some of those practices, but we've never...
In his lifetime, we finally stopped some of those practices. Slavery ended in 1865. Was he alive in 1865? And that wasn't progress? The bloody Civil War, the Great Retribution for slavery? Oh no, it was just during his lifetime that anything has happened. Now, when you look at history, when you look at American history, it's not like this as far as progress. It's more like that. You got victories, you got defeats. You go forward, you go backwards. But in the last 60 years, obviously, a tremendous amount of progress, which you never hear about. You never hear about that in the media today. You never hear about the progress. Just this constant indoctrination that we're this horrible, institutionally racist, horrible, evil country. It's not true. And I'd like to know we being compared to? Who's this perfect country that we're being compared to? China?
Or gone back to undo it. Stopping racist practices at year 350 of 400 years, but then taking no effort to dismantle them is not the same as truly combating racism.
Undoing slavery. You can't undo slavery. The people that were oppressed and suffered under slavery, they're dead. There's nothing you can do for them. You can't save them. The people that committed these atrocities are dead. Slave owners are dead. So what does he mean, undo it? You can't undo it. But we shouldn't be focusing on dead people. We should understand the progress that's been made. We should understand the bloody civil war that ended slavery. We should appreciate all the great progress that's been made over the 60 years. Last 60 years, the United States has never been less racist than it is now. And keep to the true history and not be conned by frauds like this guy. This guy, Tim Kaine, this is the freaking loser. If you remember that Hillary Clinton picked to be her VP choice, one of the many reasons she lost. But wow, what just a completely ignorant thing to say. Completely, the colonies, not even the United States yet, but the British colonies under British law, it created laws for slavery. This came from England. This is just like unbelievably ignorant and irresponsible. So anyway, thanks for listening to my rant about it. This is Jim Wall. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Cisco, do we have to leave all our good friends now?
Only until next time, Pancho. Adios, amigos.